The season is almost over, the World Padel Tour is saying goodbye, and the next year will be a revolution. Will LEBRON and GALÁN continue together? What new couples will be formed? Hello to all players, I'm Pablo and I welcome you to a new 4Set. There is less than a month left until the end of the season. And that means there are many players thinking about the next year. A season that will be the first in history without World Padel Tour and with Premier Padel. And this is very important. From 2024, the official ranking will be the fifth one, so the points that each player has in that ranking are the important ones. There are players like Tapia or Sanyo who have more points in the World Padel Tour ranking than in the fifth ranking, so they are affected. And players like Vela, LEBRON or Galan who have more points in the fifth ranking than in the World Padel Tour, so they benefit. And take your calendar because the next season will start in February in Saudi Arabia. But let's get to the important thing. Will all the couples be separated? No, there are two pairs that will continue next year. First, Coello and Tapia will continue together because they are having the best season of their lives. They have won 10 World Padel Tours and 4 Premier Padel for a total of 14 tournaments yet. Actually, they can be this weekend World Padel Tour number ones over Stupan Dineno. And with the Milano Premier Padel tournament still to be played, Coello is the solo number one in the fifth ranking. The commitment is still there even though the results are not the best recently. Coello, after being beaten by LEBRON and Galan in Malmo, said the following: "You have to be self-critical when things don't go well, but the good thing about this team is that we fight together and united from start to finish." To which Tapia, always so nice, commented, "Together you are so cool." If Arturo and Agustin will continue playing together for the next season, so will Stupan Dineno. The Super Pibes are, without a doubt, the most regular couple of the whole season. In World Padel Tour they have won 6 titles, 6 second places and 6 semi-finals. This has allowed them to be fighting for the number one until the last moment despite the great start of the season of Coello and Tapia. But Stupan Dineno got together to make a long-term project and they are gonna keep their word. And I, as a padel fan, I'm very happy to see one more year of the Super Pibes fighting together, especially because they have received very interesting calls. And now is the moment when we start talking about the couples that they have not confirmed that they will play together the next season. In an interview in Marca, Franco Stupasuk said the following: Ale Galan spoke with Martin Dineno and Juan LEBRÓN with Carlos Pozzoni, who is more or less the one who represents me, but the idea, as I told you, is to continue together. Having said that, I would like LEBRON and Galan to continue because I think they are a very good couple and I love to play against the best. This means that Galan and LEBRON have considered splitting up. So subscribe now to the channels because if you don't do it, you don't like padel. But those calls that Stupa said happened weeks ago. So are Galan and LEBRON finally going to separate? Have the recent results made them change their minds? Let's remember that this season has been the most difficult since they started playing together. They have been 9 months without winning a title, from the last December when they won the Master Final to September when they won the World Padel Tour Finland. And in between, 1,000 things have happened. Injuries for both Ale and Juan, controversies like the one in World Padel Tour Chile, Mariano Samab's decision to not continue coaching them, or Alex Galan's decision to not continue being the president of the PPA. In short, it has not been a peaceful season for them, and they have not been able to overcome it. Or have they? Because the results and the sensations have suddenly changed. From not winning a title in 9 months and losing to your biggest rivals, to winning 4 titles in the last 7 tournaments and clearly beating both Coello Tapia and the Super Pibes. But has this reaction from LEBRON and Galan come too late? Have they freed themselves for having made the decision to separate? Actually, it wouldn't be the first time that something like this happened. Remember when Paquito and Dineno in 2022 made the decision to separate? They won the next tournament without losing a single set. However, there is one issue that is still up in the air, that is LeBron's injury. The player himself confessed this at the last tournament in Malmo.
No canto victoria todavía con el tema del codo, no sé lo que va a pasar a final de año, el médico decidiremos entre todos qué va a pasar, pero bueno, lo importante que gracias también a mi fisio, Juanma, que a mi preparador físico Moy, que también están ahí los dos día a día conmigo y hacen también que esté aquí hoy en la pista, ¿no? Así que muchísimas gracias a ellos también y a todo mi equipo, de verdad.
Will Juan LeBron end up having an elbow surgery? If so, what will his operation require? Because the most recent example in my mind is Alejandra Salazar's. Alejandra took 2 months to return to competition, and obviously I have no idea if it's the same injury, but going through surgery is a serious thing. So now obviously we have 2 different scenarios. Firstly, that LeBron and Galan continue together, and there are several reasons to believe in this. The recent results have been very positive. Mariano Amat's leave has been successfully replaced by Jorge Martinez. They are number 1 couple in the 5th ranking, and regardless of Milano, next year they will start as number 1 couple. Since LeBron has returned to competition level and rhythm, they have beat Coello Tapia and Stupandineno. And obviously, the second scenario is that LeBron and Galan separates after 4 seasons together. And the main reason to believe in the separation is that they have already been looking for new partners. Furthermore, they have not had the best results this season. Neither they have been able to compete at their best level. So all this may have affected them as a couple. Remember that they have been number 1 for 3 seasons, training together every day and being in the eye of the storm at every moment. So the burnout has to be there, yes or yes. So what could happen if LeBron and Galan finally split up? Galan could meet again Jon Sanz after having shared court with him and having reached a final and several semifinals. Another option for Ale is Federico Chingotto. He is a very consistent player, which will allow Ale to focus on the definition by having a life insurance by his side. Fede with Paquito is having the best season of his life. Another possible option for Ale would be Sanyo Gutierrez. Ale Galan has already been with Juan Imieres, Mati Diaz or Pablo Lima in the past as veteran players. In fact, Sanyo has already confirmed that he will have a new partner the next season that we are gonna see in a few moments. What options could LeBron have if he separates from Ale? The first option that comes to my mind is Paquito Navarro. That would mean to repeat the experience of 2019 where they were number 1s. On that time, Paquito decided to leave LeBron to join Lima. But if it wasn't Paquito, another romantic option would be Fernando Velasteguin. It would mean playing with the best padel player in history in his last year as a professional player. But there is another option. LeBron is without a doubt one of the most complete players. Back in 2019, when he decided to play with Paquito, he switched from the left to the right side of the court. But what if LeBron goes back to the left side of the court? Since he started to be a professional, Juan already played at that side. He played with Juan Martín Díaz, Gaby Reca or Marcelo Jardim on his right. So Juan LeBron could return to the left side to join a lefty who is also capable of generating winners. Because since LeBron got injured, he's not smashing as much as he used to. Alex Reed, Captain America, one of the tallest and most powerful players of the tour, is an option. Or Jon Sanz. Jon is one of the fastest players and he can smash almost anywhere. Would you prefer to see Juan LeBron playing at the left or at the right side of the court? The rest of the couples are waiting to the final moves of LeBron and Galan. So by ranking, Paquito and Chingotto will come after them. And all rumors point of a separation of Paquito and Chingotto at the end of the season. They have reached many finals having very good results, especially in Premier Padel, but they have not won a single tournament. So what can happen from now on? Sanyo has been the only player that has confirmed that he will have a new partner for the next season. And there are some rumors for a 3rd season of Paquito and Sanyo playing together. Because remember, they used to play together for 2 years and in both seasons they reached the 2nd ranking. So will Sanyo and Paquito return? Or will Sanyo play with Galan? If not, will Chingotto be the one chosen by Ale? Wow, there are many other questions. Will Juan Tello and Alex Reed continue together? It is well known that Sanyo will love to play with Juan Tello, El Gato Tello, one day. There is another doubt. Will Momo González continue on the right side? Because he has achieved good and bad results there. But maybe with a preseason in between, he can reach a very high level on the right side. Will Bella and Yanguas continue together in the last season of The Boss? I think if there is a player in the couple that could break it, it will be Yanguas because of his age. He has done his best season so far, qualifying for the Master Final and beating LEBRON and Galan among others. And along the way there are big names whose future is unknown. What will happen with Coqui Nieto if Jon Sanz receives a call from a super top player? What will happen to Javi Leal, Alex Arroyo, Valentino Libac, Leo Asburger, Pablo Cardona? There are many players called to sign next season. Will a top player call any of them? Well, we are just hours away from the big news. In this video there are some Easter eggs of the pairs that 99% will play together for the next season. So pay attention to it, and thank you obviously for watching it. Don't forget to subscribe and like it, and see you in the next one. Ciao!